Back in there?
We're back in there.
Let me get in there. Alright.
Wait, watch here. No, you good. I'll come closer to you. We are back. We're back. We're back with the lick. Love is cool with Kelz. Second segment. So we're gonna jump right into it. I didn't even get a fork.
Dang, I thought I gave you a fork, man. I'll be right back.
When do you know? I know. I do it every time, and I should have told you. I was like, who makes that like that? Let me see this.
Yeah.
This company is the only one that doesn't have the squeeze top where you just put a little bit in there.
It's like the hole right there.
Oh, maybe it is. Huh. Okay, so the question of the day, or should I say the night? Because we just never ever know. I can never answer this question, but I would try my best.
Okay.
When you've dealt with a bad or sad breakup, whether it was your choice to leave or the other person's choice to leave, when do you know you're ready for another relationship?
Wow.
Not to find a rebound, not to find somebody while you're lonely until you figure it out.
Okay.
When you're literally just single until you can get yourself together, when do you know you're ready to jump back out there into something serious? Not a fling, not a just dating and see where things go. When do you know you're ready? What are some clues, some signs, some anything?
That's good. We're going to let them jump in on that one.
While we take a bite of this food?
While we take a bite. But I believe that is...
I'm trying to move this back some more to see how much...
That's one of the toughest situations to deal with is...
there we go.
You know, because I don't think that people take enough time to heal from the situation. So I think that you really have to turn around and rediscover what your needs and wants are with where you are at the time, because they may change in the relationship that you was in before. Mm-hmm. You may have changed and evolved as a person. You know, you may learn some things that you don't want to tolerate no more. You may learn some things that you can improve in yourself that you might not have given in that previous relationship. You know, so I think it's tough. It's tough. I don't know if there's a specific time when you're ready, but I do believe in giving it a shot once you've dealt with yourself.
So I guess the second question to that one, to even get to being ready.
Yeah.
How do people deal with themselves? That's the stage I'm in right now.
Okay. Well, I'll say for me, I actually, when I was divorcing and when I was divorced, I actually went to counseling.
Okay.
I went to counseling. Now, I started out with the church counseling. Now, the church counseling sometimes is a little bit different.
Okay.
Because, you know, Pastor Lee know a little bit about your business. You know what I mean? So he may be a little biased, right? So I took it a little bit further, and I went and actually got some professional counseling. And, you know, it honestly was helpful because I had to ask myself some questions I never thought about asking. And it had to come from somebody else. Okay. You know, because I was at a state to where I'm feeling some type of way because what she did, and I wasn't even thinking about my contributions to the situation. You know, so what I learned in counseling more so than anything was accountability. You know, yes. It came to the point to where even though we weren't together anymore, it's not about what you did and everything you did and all about what I did and everything I did. It's about what we decided to do or not do about it. You know, because it's always going to take two. It takes two to bust it up, and it takes two to put it together.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I had to find a place to where I just had to think about a little bit more if I was willing and ready to be accountable. And just because I said that I'm accountable, that don't mean I give her a phone call and, hey, meet me at Maggiano's and we're going to talk about this. You know, because that's one thing that I talked about before. And that's a whole nother subject when we start talking about closure. Okay. You know, I was trying to define what closure was and if closure was necessary. So for me, I don't feel like it was necessary because I didn't need to come to grips with her because we was already over.
Okay.
I needed to come to grips with me and what I'm gonna do moving forward, so I don't fall into the same situation that I was before on my part, my contributions. So,
So a personal question on that note.
okay.
You definitely don't owe it to that person once you're over. Do you feel that person might need that to hear an apology or for whatever part you might have played in it? Not saying like, God is the only one that can judge you and that's who you need to repent to and all of that.
Yeah.
But of a person that you were married to who was at one point your best friend.
Right.
The person you talked to about everything. Do you feel at some point you would ever give the apology and be open to receive it if she wanted to apologize for anything she did? Or do you even need that?
I didn't need that. I don't need it. And, towards the end of the relationship, we were actually able to have conversations that we didn't have in the entire marriage.
Why does that happen that way?
Well, I think when you know that it's over, you're willing to be as completely transparent, because now it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you some things, and if you leave, you leaving anyway.
You already got your bags packed in your own apartment, right? So I can tell you now.
And we done filed the paperwork, so let me tell you about.
That's why I don't believe
August.
that your spouse is your best friend, because you're not going to be 1,000% as transparent with your spouse as you will an outside person that's you're really close to and probably been around longer than your spouse.
Yeah.
So when people say marry your best friend, I'm like, okay, when we fight, who the heck am I gonna go talk to if I marry my best friend? My spouse is my spouse. My best friend is my best friend. That's what I believe. You can be a really good friend, and if we're married, then there's a certain amount of respect that I have for you.
Yeah.
But you're not my best friend. That's just how I feel.
Okay, so what would you consider a confidant? Who would you tell your deepest fears and?
I have a best friend for that.
Okay.
And it could also be. This is just personal. This is not for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
My own personal one is because I have two best friends and they're both males.
Okay.
One I met in 7th grade. One I met in 8th grade, and they literally have been through every relationship, every friendship, every job, every child.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right.
So if they're a deal breaker for a relationship, I would let the relationship go before I would let them go.
Okay, that's tough. That's tough for a brother to deal with.
Yeah, because they're both males. And it's not been, like, we've never dated. It's not the ex and we became friends. We've never dated, never even kissed. And one of them I actually lived with for 5 months.
Okay.
In a 1-bedroom apartment. Nothing ever happened. I put that on my kid's life, on my life, on my grandmother who passed away. That's my everything. I put that on her life, that we've never even kissed before.
Yeah.
And that would be hard for somebody. But you just got to trust.
It takes trust and it takes maturity, though. And you have to put the ego aside, because you have somebody that's being 100% transparent with you.
Exactly.
And you're not going to get that with everyone. So,
if I mess up in a relationship, they'll be the first to be like, nah, Kelz, you messed up. Or you don't think this is how he might be feeling because I'm a man, I know. So then I'm like, I didn't think about it that way.
male perspective. That's good.
And I also have my female best friends too, but the ones that I go to for every single thing, if you want to know anything about me, you would have to ask those two. So, I don't know. I feel like I said, my spouse it's certain, and then let me rephrase that too. It's certain things that I would tell my spouse that I wouldn't tell my best friends, because that's sacred to us.
Right.
But if I got an issue with you and we're married,
right.
I'm talking to them. I probably shouldn't be, but I'm talking to them. They always say only put God in the middle, but sometimes you can't hear God. And I need an answer right now. So I'm going to go to John and see what he got to say.
John, holla at me. Well, realistically, if you was to confide in someone, at least it's someone who's platonic. You know what I mean? And someone that you know wouldn't take advantage of your transparency and vulnerability.
Exactly.
And I think that's what happens a lot is male and female, they bump into folks and they feel like because that person has similar issues, that it's meant for them to be in conversation about what goes on, and obviously that you form a bond, so to speak, that you don't even realize.
Yep.
And
That's how it happens.
next thing you know, 3-4 months, you went from, look, this is what you need to do, get your man, take care of him, blah blah blah, do this and that, to
I can do that for you.
Oh, you haven't heard from him all day? Well, come on over. I know you've been on your feet all day, right? Somebody said that to you, you've been on your feet all day?
But this is what I say. This is what I tell people all the time. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard this. And if you haven't, keep it in mind. A shoulder to cry on is a dick to ride on.
Wow.
And that personally happened to me. Damn. Not me as in I wrote on somebody. Somebody wrote on my man. Because he went doing exactly what you said.
Right.
Went and venting to the chick. The chick venting to him about relationships, and they end up hooking up to where we are. So, that's why you always should have a friend. And that's the thing, like, I don't understand the need of finding somebody new to talk to.
I want to see what they talking
your
about.
best friends aren't good enough to talk to?
Yeah. That,
or you don't want them to tell you you're wrong when you're wrong.
Yeah, I think you hit that one right there on the nail on the head. It's the accountability thing, man. Nobody wants to be accountable for their actions.
Nope.
They want somebody to tell them what the other person should and shouldn't be doing for you.
Donika said you'll feel it inside and out.
Well, what you talking about?
As into when you're ready to start dating.
Oh,
you'll know it. You'll feel. I saw when she said it. That's why I remember.
Oh, okay.
She said exactly. Healing is important. Now we're talking. Yes, you definitely have to heal first. Yeah. Stern said, I think you're ready when the soul ties have been broken off of you for that other person. Breaking soul ties is real. Bo said, add me to the live, bruh. And look at all these people waiting. See, I'm gonna make a post and tell y'all how y'all can get added into the live.
Yeah.
Donika said, date yourself. Learn the things you like and don't like. Evaluate some of the things about yourself that may and may not have played major parts. Accountability is a must. Absolutely.
Okay.
Jamal said he's speaking some real shit.
Stern, I probably was.
Stern said, as long as your soul stays connected to that ex, you will never feel free of that other person. I agree.
Yeah.
Tamara said, hold on, let me open her whole message. I had to be okay with the fact that if this didn't work, I was okay with that. I feel like at this point, I could trust love again. I was stable enough to take that risk. I'm definitely not ready then. I want to be your spouse and your best friend all in one. If you get with me, that's not going to happen, Stern. Having best friends of the opposite sex. Allie said, wow. Stern said, a shoulder to cry on is a dick to ride on. Yeah,
somebody else said that, y'all?
Yeah, I won't sleep with you under those conditions. Under what conditions? I can't remember what we said.
Okay.
But to me, what was that Stern that said that? About the soul ties? To me, I know you're not ready to move on if everything that person does or says, or if somebody mentions that person, you still have an emotion to it. Whether you're pissed or you get sad, or like if you can talk about that person and not feel anything, then you've at least healed from that relationship.
Yeah.
So that you can start working on yourself and then move on to somebody new.
Most definitely. So
like if somebody is to bring up, I would be pissed. Okay. So I'm still in the piss stage.
All right. If you say buddy.
Yeah, it's going to piss me off. Yeah. And they say she's bitter. Yep.
Well, so do you feel like there needs to be some type of because I really don't know what closure is. I don't want to get into closure, and I don't want you guys to necessarily expound on it, but I haven't really understood what closure means, or maybe not what it means, but what it means as far as to that couple or to that individual. I believe you can have, I'll make up a word, self-closure and be fine. Because you don't, I'll tell you what, I'm a PK. You know what a PK is?
No.
PK is a preacher's kid. So a lot of times when I say things, maybe so. You know, I learned from that, not necessarily doing what they say, but maybe doing the opposite and learning from, well, damn, mom said, you know, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna go do it anyway, and now I learn from doing it instead of not doing it.
Sometimes you need to do something to learn yourself. Correct. Personally.
So mom's taught me that first thing she would say is never open up new business without closing old business. That's what she always said.
I would agree 1,000%.
And I heard her.
I hear you, Mom.
I hear you. But you know what? This ain't working out right yet. So while this ain't working out right yet, you know, my eyes are wide open. Or in this case, eyes wide shut. You understand? So I learned that doesn't work because now you get other people involved that has no business being involved. And then what if you want to go back to the situation you guys want to work it out? Now you got this up under there that you can't clean up because now they can't take you serious over it. So been there, done that. I'm a reformed man.
You're a reformed man.
I'm a reformed man. I was gonna say something that goes after man. Okay. All right, but and another thing she taught me was to what's the best way? She says once you're done, it's no longer your responsibility. Meaning once you're no longer with that person, they're not your responsibility anymore.
True.
So if you guys are done and you know it's cut off, allow them to live their life. Don't come dipping back in. Hey, this is what I want to explain to you. This is what I should have did. Leave them alone. Let them move forward, because you know time is gonna help heal what they got going on. So don't go jumping back in there, pulling scabs.
Yes, Lord.
You understand? So that's what I've learned.
Don't pull my scabs, please. Leave my scabs alone.
It's
please.
still
let them heal.
It's still white meat up under the scabs.
Because every time you do that, then they start itching and you start it all over. Now I'm just in pain all over.
Now again. You got to heal all over again.
Now you got to heal all over again. Don't do that. So my thing was too, and shout out to Donika. She's told me, if you don't feel comfortable dating yourself, meaning if you can't go to a nice restaurant and sit down by yourself, if you can't go to the movies by yourself, then how do you expect somebody else to want to do those things with you? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not going to no movies by myself. That seems so lonely. Now I'll do that type of stuff. Because at first I was like, so if I go to a restaurant, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have nobody to talk to. Do I just sit on my phone?
Will that be for two?
You
got a guest?
Like, get out my business.
No, it's just me.
It's just me. So, yeah, you got to learn to date yourself.
I agree. That's important.
It's very important.
That's important. Because I think people, some people feel like they need to be in a relationship. So if they need to be in a relationship, then that means they may run into something that they think is good for them, but it's not good for them. Again, that's the outside looking in.
Right. And I'm one of those people that I don't need to be in a relationship. But right now, not dealing with anybody, no boo, none of that is new for me. Okay. I'm good with not being in a relationship. But if I have somebody that I'm able to go out with, have sex with.
That's still companionship,
spend time with, be on the phone with, then I'm good. We don't have to have a title.
Oh, cool.
So literally right now, just me, myself, and I is like, what the heck? What do I do? How long does this last? Okay. So I'm trying it out. Okay. And it's been fine. Like, I literally watch shows that I like to watch. I go places that I like to go. You accomplish goals that you no longer have a distraction. Yep. To help you get to. No distractions. Exactly. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. So I went on a date last week. And I feel horrible. He might be watching, but I realized after that date I wasn't ready.
Hey, bruh, she wasn't ready, man.
Because it was like everything he was saying, I was like, this sounds like something such and such would say. Right. Or I wonder if he's trying to impress me. Or I wonder if he really is like this. Or I wonder if I was like, you know what, I'm not being fair to him. Because I'm not taking what he's saying and receiving it.
You're not willing to receive it.
Yeah. So he felt like he did something wrong. And then he was like, you know, you got to open up and give it a chance. Like, no, I'm literally not ready. And I'm going to drag you into my mess.
Right.
Get your legs and feet bleeding. Trying to hold on to me and my baggage.
Right.
And I don't want to do that. I've done that to somebody previously.
Let the jet skis go, brother. Let the jet skis go.
Yes, I did that the first time around. I let a guy on for 2 whole years. And so he finally was like, we're either going to get in a relationship or I'm going. So I was like, okay.
Bye, baby, bye, huh? Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not going to do that to anybody else.
See, now that same brother is a hurt man.
Yes,
running
probably
off
dogging
that
out
land.
there.
See what I'm saying? He dogged somebody out last week, probably.
I'm sorry.
See that?
That was over 3 years ago. I'm sure he's good now.
Ain't no telling. He's probably still talking about you.
Oh, gosh.
With somebody.
Why am I laughing? I'm not laughing.
That's tough, man.
Hey, you read off some of this stuff.
Let me read off some of this, yo. Now, I need glasses, but I don't have them on. So it's going to be real close to my face, y'all. So bear with me.
Let me see how far back I got to go.
Yo, wow.
We never have this many comments. I'm appreciating y'all.
It's super lit, y'all.
They need to rain more on Thursdays because I know that's why y'all here.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing else going on. All right, let's see. I have female friends. Oh, like that too. Who I've known for years and never kissed. But then I had mental struggles with myself about should my partner matter enough, whereas I would consider her feelings. Right. That you have friends that close, and then, you know, you actually have somebody that you deal with in that type of manner. I get that. Be friends without sex. Make sure he's available without the physical part. And, if he really like you, he'll be there every day. I would never purposely be celibate. I'm going to tell y'all that now. Who's that right there? What's their name?
It's Ali Finn.
Okay.
Ali Finn. I'm sorry. I butchered that name.
So that's another thing, because you mentioned the companionship. Now, you talked about companionship with what it would include. And I think a lot of people have to, be real with themselves about what they want and what they don't want.
Yes. But people don't do that, though.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with they don't want to offend. So
offend if that's what you want. Offend me all day.
I agree. I agree.
And if
100%.
I don't agree with what you want, then I'm not the person for you. Move on to the next person. I'll be okay.
Okay. With that being said, and this is, I'm gonna go ahead and put my bruh hat on. This is on behalf of all the brothers.
Okay.
All right. So we meet someone and they express how they're single, but they're looking for some type of companionship with some substance to it, right? Mm-hmm. And the way they describe it is that, did you want a relationship?
Okay.
It's described as a relationship, even if they don't say, hey, I want to be in a relationship and do these type of things. So a brother's not going to come across in such a way to where, it seems like, well, look, we just want to kick it from time to time, and, we want the physical to be involved if the attraction is there. We're going to come across in such a way to where we don't want to offend. We want to let you lead on how much into a companionship or how hard you want to kick it with us. Because it always comes across, most of the time it comes across that, we're being too aggressive. We talking about, like, we can't talk about sex. We can't talk about sex. We can only talk about going out, to dinner, whatever. But in reality, we wanted to encompass all of that. But we don't want to come off like that all the time.
Do you really want to accomplish all of that?
Well, I mean, I think depending on that individual, you know what I mean? Like me, I'm an older guy. Well, I don't know if I'm an older guy. And I'm old enough. Mm-hmm. I'm old enough to say what I mean. You know what I mean? And so I don't have a problem articulating what I want and what I don't want. And I think that's important, is people don't talk about exactly what they want and what they don't want. They only say one or the other. Mm-hmm. And it's usually in reference to what just happened to them. So now
That's
we don't want to be that guy. Like, for instance, okay, check it out. Great example. This is not a true story. All right, so I met a lady, and we was talking, we was having dinner and everything, and, you know, obviously we was attracted to each other, and she just was talking about her last situation. Like, a lot of women run their mouth a little bit too much on the first date. That's my personal opinion. So she was just talking about, yeah, you know, I meet guys and all they do is they want to have sex, and you know, the last guy I was talking to, you know, I thought I was going somewhere, but you know, all we was doing having sex. Man, we was having sex every day.
That man want to hear that.
And I'm like, where? So what the problem is? You don't think I want that too? So now I got in the conversation where, oh, okay, well.
That offended her, so let me not.
let me kind of go around this end, since I can't go straight through the middle. So I just talk about other stuff that I want, but then I have to leave some stuff out because obviously it's a trigger. And so I think that's what happens. I mean, eventually, the truth got to come out.
Why leave it out?
Huh?
Why leave it out?
Well, not leave it out, but kind of let the lady lead in that regards to what extent. To at least talk about it. At least I'm saying to talk about it initially.
I still see that as a form of trying to impress her. You're not being 100% like, look.
But that's not guaranteed it's going to happen anyway, though.
What?
That it's going to lead to that. So we're just saying, hey, we willing to get to know you. We're willing to, you know, date or do different activities. But, you know, the physicalities that has to be mutual anyway. We don't even really call the shot for that.
True.
You know, so if that's something that you express that you'll have a problem with, or if you do have a problem with, then I think that's our cue. Well, look, you know, I'm not abstaining from sex right now.
And I want someone who's not abstaining from sex. You know,
and I'm not saying we got to get to that point ASAP Rocky, but if this is gonna work, we're gonna need to get to that point. And then I mean, you know, at that point, you know.
But I would want a guy to be like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just looking for somebody to kick it with, possibly go out to eat with from time to time. Because I might be in that same
way, in the same space, right?
Yeah. And then if I'm not, why waste his time trying to force a relationship onto somebody that doesn't? And then he's spending months or weeks or however long it takes for her to give it up. Yeah. Wasted time, money, and energy on this guy, knowing that's not, you want more than that. Okay. So on both ends, I just feel like if a woman's looking for a relationship, she should say she's looking for a relationship, and do not entertain men that aren't looking for a relationship.
I agree.
And vice versa. If a man doesn't want to be in a relationship, don't leave stuff out just in case you mess your chances up with someone who's told you, I want a relationship.
And again, I think that should not be awkward conversation in the beginning. And I think that may be the issue. And I was just giving you an example. Again, you know, I think that you should say exactly what you mean. And then give that person, I mean, you know, I've heard it enough in my life. Give me a chance to make a decision. Tired of hearing that shit, man. So I've heard that enough, directly and indirectly, to know, say what you mean. But at the same time, you know, a lot of guys don't want to come across in that manner. So in a way, when it comes to the physicalities, we do want you to, we're looking for an opportunity to talk about it. We're looking for an opportunity.
Without being too fast.
Without being too fast. I mean, because
every woman is different. Like
every woman is different.
I'm one of those women, you will offend me if you talk about it too fast.
You will?
Yeah, it'll offend me.
Right.
I would be like,
brother,
I know what he wants.
Come through the middle. Now he's going around the left, right side.
And then you might have a woman that wants you just straight up tell her from day one.
Right.
So I guess you got to learn who you're dealing with.
It is.
But at the same time, put your needs, to me, I just feel like a relationship works from the very beginning when you put your needs first. Then when you fall in love, you make compromises and sacrifices. Because then you found your perfect match to do that with.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make compromises on somebody you want to get to know, you've already shorted yourself.
Right. And you can't go backwards.
You can't go backwards. Feelings are involved. Like, you have sex with a woman. I don't know about it in 2018, but at least it used to be. If you have sex with a woman, she's going to catch feelings. She's going to want more than just sex. She's going to expect because we're having sex.
Even if
you
it's
like
not good,
me now. I don't know about that.
So you need to reiterate. If you have good sex.
If you have good sex.
Okay.
If you have good sex.
Because y'all still not calling brothers back if the sex ain't good. I thought we went out.
Not if you're dealing with a bunch of shit with that nigga too. Some women will put up with all this stuff.
There's got to be
all
more
the
benefits
tears,
to it though, right?
all the lack of trust. The bringing my car back on E.
For some wood, man. I tell you.
For some good
For some good wood.
For some good wood. But in 2018, I don't even think that really matters no more.
Nah. Folks is trying to live.
Yeah.
Well, what's the new slogan? Living my best life.
Oh my gosh, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to shoot myself in the face.
I just heard it a couple of weeks ago,
oh
man.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's living their best life and they all be on their couch. Posting pictures from last summer when they went to Miami and Dominican Republic.
Posting
living
old
my
pictures,
best life. Oh, I be killing the old pictures because I'm just like, I'm trying to get my life together, but I know I got to post something. I'd be like Throwback Thursday on a Tuesday.
Right. Just to get it off, right?
But I know I need to post something. It's been a couple of days and they're going to be like, where's she going?
Yeah, you got to do something. You got to do something. All right,
so when you're ready to live your best life, that's when you're ready to start dating again.
When you're ready to live that's it. When you're ready to live your best life,
that's when you're ready. I'm not living my best life yet, but when I do, that's what he said.
Hit it with the shoulders.
Ali said 2018, women think like men. I've been told I've been thinking like a man, but I think I'm like the most emotional female ever. So when guys say that, I really don't understand it because I expect like that I think like a man or I act like a man.
I don't agree with that statement. All.
I think I'm really girly.
I don't
emotional.
I don't agree with that statement because that's saying that men only act a certain way, and that's saying that women just started doing it. Both of those. So I would say that a person may be living in their truth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, and being real with themselves, and they're basically saying, "Yo, this is about me." Women are becoming a little bit more selfish, which I think is okay, Lord. Right? Because you're so nurturing, you're giving, you're sacrificing for these jokers is not even, willing to meet you halfway.
That has always been my issue. And guys would tell me that. Like, you got to put yourself first. But I will put the man first. I will put the kids first. I will put whatever they need to be happy and successful. And then I'll worry about me last. Because I feel like, to me, I'm a giver. Like, I feel like in my last life, I was a counselor. So if you're good and you're happy, I'm good and I'm happy. Right. That's how I feel. Maybe that's the man part because they feel like a man should be the one to make the sacrifices. Right, but I always am the sacrificer. In the relationship. Yeah. As far as who shines first or who's, more important as far as what they need. Right.
Hey, I see emojis. What are them laughing emojis about?
They don't think straight. Shade. She said shade, no shade. They don't think straight. Women got more male friends than than women friends. Because y'all be trying to fuck y'all friends. You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so. I think that I think that dudes, that us guys, we need our testosterone, but we only need it like periodically. Okay. You know what I mean? Let's get with the fellas. We got our sports. We got our those different type of activities. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so I can't say that part. But so I don't need that for my pastime. But it's just less stressful dealing with women for us. Okay. Because a lot of times it's not going to be any pressure. Number one, to compete. Mm-hmm. We ain't competing about cars. We ain't competing about all this other stuff that we've done and didn't do and lying about and all that. And it's it's just is just a little bit more laid back, you know. And I'd rather be around feminine, female, well, not feminine, but female energy.
Okay.
You know, I don't. My best friend is a woman.
Okay.
And you know, she's married, so I know her husband, I know her family. Just at the same time, it was someone who I felt like she never judged me in my situation, and she just kind of had my back and encouraged me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it came from a genuine space. So that's kind of how we got closer, and then from them, you know, she knows my kids, I know her kids, and I know her husband and I were cool, and he understood. At first he didn't, because he's just figuring out, okay, who was this bald-headed, bearded nigga?
Exactly.
Right? And so, but, you know, he never met me and never really understood that, yo, bro, I believe in marriage. I wouldn't do anything to mess somebody's marriage up. So
Right.
even if it's about, okay, we can't be, you know, best friends, we just be acquaintances and stuff like that, then that's cool. Because I believe in family. Mm-hmm. But I just think that it's easier for guys to be around female energy, positive women, that is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not about drama and stuff like that. And it's just an easier atmosphere. Now, on the other hand, as guys, sometimes we think about not being able to protect and watch over our woman if she's surrounded by a bunch of guys. Yeah, y'all might have grew up together, y'all was cool and stuff.
Really?
But if something pop off, I don't want Tony being like, hey, she good, though. Hey, I'm gonna bring her home later. Hey, what? Is 12 good? It's 8 o'clock. It's 12 good. It's 12 good to get shot. Is that good for you?
And I think it's pretty much the same thing.
And it probably is.
Yeah, like we keep
so.
male friends around. Again, like I said, whenever I'm having an issue with, you know, a guy that I'm dating,
right.
It's easier to get like a level-headed answer.
Yeah.
Because if I call my homegirl, she's gonna think like me.
Right.
She's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be putting her own personal situation into my situation.
That's right.
And like, girl, he did this and he doing that.
Emotional.
Let's go ride on him. We're going to go get this girl. Where the dude,
right.
the homeboy might be like, maybe he felt like he needed to go talk to that woman to try to understand you better. Yeah. He probably shouldn't have talked to her, but that's probably why he went that way.
He gonna
go home and
mindset.
ask him. Exactly. Go home and ask him why he talked to her, and I guarantee this is what he's going to say. Right. And it's a level-headed, whether it goes that way or not, at least it's more rational. And you can actually try to work through a situation instead of adding an additional problem.
Correct.
So we don't like talking to our female friends unless we just want the drama or we want to keep feeling how we feel.
Yeah. Now, the only issue is that you really have no control over it. It's all about a person's insecurities or securities is, you know, actually finding out that you confided in somebody of the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's good, like, bruh, I told your lady that it's best that you guys talk it out than, you know, go back and forth and argue. Mm-hmm. Even if that was, you know, what I said to you, for him, he's not going to hear it. He's just going to like, okay, so he going to say whatever it takes for you to get comfortable and believe him so you can come back. And you know what I mean? So I think it has a lot to do with securities, though. Security is an ego, but then again, you know, you have to have some type of trust in the beginning in your relationship anyway.
James said, I vibe with men way better than women. And
why is that?
Tajmir said, even if you're attracted to that female energy, that's hard to be friends with somebody that you're attracted to in that kind of way. I wouldn't... This is my thing, and I've said this on Facebook before. I say a lot of stuff, so people probably miss half the stuff that I say. If I vent to you about every single thing, then I'm not interested in you in any kind of way. Mm. If I leave some stuff out, then maybe there's some type of possibility that I might be interested in you some kind of way. But if I open up completely, then you know everything about me. You know all my flaws. We would never work in a relationship because I gave you all the ammo. Yeah, I gave you the full blueprint. And watched you build the whole thing. Yeah.
Hey, he orchestrated everything right there.
And I'm helping you too.
That's
Okay,
thank you. Thank you. This is going to work just fine.
So yeah, if I tell you every single thing, then I'm not attracted to you in that kind of way. If I got some type of energy, like he said, even if you're attracted to that female energy, that's crazy to keep that person as a good friend.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
That's very dangerous. Because you're going to be in a relationship with somebody totally different. You vent to this person at the wrong time. Yeah. You've already got the energy.
Right.
All they got to do is give you the go. I've been
all
feeling
they have
this
to
type
do
of
is
way.
reciprocate everything that you just said.
Yeah. And it's done.
Yeah.
So you can't be, to me, I don't think you can be attracted to your best friend in that kind of way. Like, you literally have to look at them like a brother or sister, to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not for everybody. I just feel that way.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. And I think I think people know. You know if you have some type of attraction to that person to where you have to put those boundaries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I imagine you can have associates or whatnot, I guess. I don't really know in that manner because I don't really know how that works, honestly. But you have to put boundaries in some of your associations and stuff.
Absolutely.
If you know that you looking at that man's chest and he trying to talk to you.
I know, and he just broke up with his girl too.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know that all he wanted her to do was cook shrimp fried rice, and you call him over the next day and you done made shrimp fried rice
with teriyaki chicken on the side. Oh, exactly. Lord.
So I'm here for you, friend. Eat up.
Look. These my drawers, right?
Eat up.
They're my drawers.
Exactly. So that's not going to
my drawers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And y'all can't be flirting with each other either, because that's just going to lead to somewhere else down the line.
It's not. And that's how you get revelations later on in it. You remember that time we was talking about.
Exactly.
All I can think about is if you was with me. I would have did you right.
But I knew you was in love with her, so I didn't say nothing. You ain't know how that goes.
That's a mess, man. I think that we at a point though that we have to make better decisions in the beginning. And not wait to where it might not be like that, or maybe I didn't catch it, maybe it was something, maybe it wasn't. I had to find out. Come on.
Ali said, make sure the person in your life knows who you're friends with the opposite sex before you decide to be in a relationship. You can't spring opposite sex friends after the fact. I agree.
Yeah,
because like I said, I don't just have one, I have two.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely have to say that at the very beginning. Because I'm like, hey, I'm Kelz. I have 2 kids and 2 male best friends.
That's your one-liner right there.
Danica said he really needs to be a counselor. I'd seriously book him.
Oh, where?
Aw.
Cheers.
Wilbur,
contact me. You got my information.
Wilbur said I fuck with dude's thought process. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, I'm just older. A lot of things I didn't learn in the beginning, but I'm thankful that God gave me another chance.
Absolutely.
And I just say another day. Every day is. I just want to do better than yesterday. In my decisions and everything. So, I still made mistakes and, I just, like I said, I learned about accountability. Mm-hmm. And so when it came to it, I have to just think about, what part did I play and how.
That's where I am too. The accountability part.
It is.
Because I'm like, thinking back, like, I could have stopped half of this stuff from happening had I done this or had I done that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it's tough, especially when somebody brings it to your attention. Right. That's the hardest part. Yeah. When they tell you, you know what, you brought all this on yourself.
I don't want to hear that.
You don't want to hear it,
right? Though.
But that's also another person who I will always go to for real advice because they didn't care about hurting my feelings whatsoever.
They gonna give it to you.
They straight, like no chaser at all.
Yeah.
Jay said I need counseling. You're going to be a counselor.
I got you.
Gigi for counseling.
I got you. Hey,
Nikki said this is why you need those good friends because they will give you the truth. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So to sum up, when do you know you're ready to start dating again? When you've come out of a bad or a sad relationship? What would you say to sum it up?
I would say my final thoughts on that is either way it's going to be a risk. So to say that you actually know, it's going to be a risk. And I think it's important that we realize that it's going to be a risk. Mm-hmm. Nothing is guaranteed, but we have to go into it with a fresh start. So I would say whenever you realize that you need a fresh start and you're willing to move forward with a fresh start, meaning if you are going to go into a relationship, you can't think about every single thing that happened prior to, because a lot of it's going to carry over, whether subconsciously, it's going to carry over. So I wouldn't say that there's a particular time. I know for me, it's been over a year.
Okay.
It's been over a year, and I'm starting to understand myself better. Mm-hmm. So when when I do meet someone, it's going to be like, look, just be patient with me, and understand that it's going to be a process. So it's probably going to be different from whatever guy that you ever met or dealt with, because I process things a lot differently. So mm-hmm. if you're willing to be patient with me and go through the process, then I think that it'll definitely be worth it. So I say for me, when you're truly ready to start fresh.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like you said, to piggyback off of starting fresh, to know who you are and what you want. When you don't bring up old feelings and old, past relationships, where you can sit in front of somebody on a date and not judge them from the things that you went through in your past. Yeah. So when you're like fully open and ready to see what's new adventures, mm-hmm. and you're not putting a pause or a speed break on something that somebody either says or does. That's good. Like if you can't trust yourself or trust that person, you're definitely not ready. If you're not just open and willing to just jump out there, definitely not ready. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, if you're talking yourself off the ledge, then you're not ready.
You definitely. I'm like, let's see. And this is another thing to let you know that you're not ready is when you're lonely. You're definitely not ready if you're lonely.
That's really
If you sit at home and like, I wish I had somebody that can watch TV with, or I had somebody that can just go out to eat with, and I don't like being by myself. Right. Then you're just gonna be picking up somebody to fill a void and to be a distraction from your from your loneliness and your boredness.
That that may be a big issue for me, because I don't mind being at the house chilling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So you got used to it. When I tell you I watched 3 seasons in a weekend of a show that I never would have sat down and watched before, because I would have been out and about doing this, that, and the third with people who I probably wouldn't see in my future. Right. So I spend more time with my daughter. She annoys the crap out of me, but I love you, Diva Doll. And so you find different things that you find that's more important than a distraction. Yeah. So that's all we have. You have anything else you want to say in regards to that?
I really enjoy it. You know what? I will say this. It's been real chill and serene without our third counterpart.
No, we need them laughs.
It's a whole different energy. I want to make sure we don't get too serious to where people are thinking that, look, I need to start inboxing my problems so they can talk about it. We ain't trying to do that, man. Listen. We're not trying to do it like that. Yo, this is fun. It's just some real stuff. Yes. It's just some real stuff. So
we miss you, Sunshine.
We do, Sunshine.
So if you missed it in the last video, she had a family emergency come up at the very last second. So she's not here, but keep her and her family, her husband's mother, in prayer. Yeah. She will definitely be here next week. We'll be doing Feel the Burn with Sunshine, and she's going to have something crazy. Sweet. I don't know if we're doing yoga, if we're doing some twerking. I don't know what we're doing. Whatever Sunshine wants to do to feel the burn, that's what we're doing. So she's not here again. Make sure you follow her on Instagram at hood_unicorn_.
Yes.
Mine is Kelz_.
Oh, it's Kelz_. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine is Gigi, Gigi, goes hard. All right? I'm on IG. Let's get it.
You see these guns, man?
She got the guns on deck. Bob Nitro Fitness, for those of you who need some personal training, we got that too. Bob Nitro Fitness.
And don't be trying to go get no fitness training and hoping that he help you with your problems while you're there. You're there to work and sweat and lose or gain the weight. That's it.
I'm a different man in the
and
gym.
Buy some shirts.
I might not want to listen to you in the gym. What? That's what's going on? 20 more
Work it
push-ups.
off. Exactly. Work it off. Look, that's what they was going to do. That's how I can get him to ask him about my problems about this man. So, thanks for tuning in. Love is Cool with Kelz, if you're wondering what the lick stands for. Every other Thursday, we're here cooking with Kelz, and then the opposite Thursday is Feel the Burn with Sunshine. And love y'all. Talk to you later.
Peace. God bless y'all.